I'm Mayor Sandy Stimpson. It's Monday, May 4th, and I'm here to report on what's kind of happened over the weekend and forward looking into this week. And over the weekend, there continue to be test analysis done by Mobile County Health Department, Synergy Labs, and others. You know, the compilation of those tests show that the virus is still out there. You know, it has not really changed a whole lot. We are continue to find additional cases, and that's partly because there's a lot more testing going on. And I think that you'll continue to see that. But there's still reason to be concerned about what is happening in our assisted living facilities and our nursing homes. So you'll continue to hear us throughout the rest of this week, not just us, but the Mobile County Health Department talk about what's going on in those areas, trying to make sure that we protect those that are living in those facilities so that ultimately we don't overload our hospitals. This past weekend, and really is toward the end of the last week, I, like you, probably read an article about one of our business owners, I think it was Stokely Garden Express, that just picked, I think it was 7 businesses where he went and contributed $500 to each of those businesses. And it made me think that, you know, we as individuals, we have our own barber, or you have your own beautician, or the person that does your nails. You know, I've had a couple of my friends say that, you know, every 2 weeks they send them a check just to make sure that they don't come on hard times. Well, in thinking about that, it's really partly what had to do with us creating the idea of Ignite Mobile. And that was, we were trying to build a bridge for those close contact businesses and those businesses that have been dropped through the cracks to where the employees were not receiving any unemployment compensation and the businesses were not receiving any PPP funds. So, and that's really what we'll be talking about this week with the City Council. Tomorrow they will be bringing up, you know, the idea of Ignite Mobile and set aside possibly $500,000 that could be distributed to those businesses that qualify that had to close down because of the governor's order. You know, another thing that we're working on this week, we'll be talking to all our department heads about how do we bring back those who've been teleworking. We have a couple of hundred people that are from the city who are teleworking, and we will need to bring them back. And probably at this point in time, they'll start coming back to work the last 2 weeks in May. And some may not come back until actually after June 1st. But anyway, we're making those preparations for how to bring them back in. But as an aside to that, we're also going to be creating policies for the future about how do we have teleworking become a part of just the daily operation of the city. Don't know what it quite looks like yet, but we've learned a lot of lessons, and we've learned that it absolutely can work. I was having a conversation with Colonel Jim DeLapp, former head of the Corps of Engineers here in Mobile, and he told me that they've actually shut the building down and everybody at the Corps of Engineers is working from home, you know, which that just shows you that it can be done. So we'll see how we can incorporate that into the city so we can provide better services to you. Earlier today, I had an opportunity to receive a donation of 500 masks from the Islamic Society of Mobile. We're tremendously grateful for that contribution. We'll actually be handing those off to Michael Pierce, who will be using them for the residents at Crichton Towers, where we've had a couple of cases show up. So we'll be making that presentation to Michael about 4:30 today so that he can distribute those masks. You know, all in all, I said this Friday, and I'll probably continue to say it most every day. You know, the weather is beautiful. I mean, I can't think of any point in time when we've had this many days of beautiful weather. People really do want to go outside. They want to do the things they normally do. But the virus is not gone. People are still getting sick. We're still having people die from it. And it's your responsibility to make sure that you take care of yourself and do those things that you've been hearing over and over and over about, you know, good hygiene, washing your hands, cleaning your work area, cleaning your home, wearing face masks, just doing those things, the social distancing, all of them so important. So please don't drop your guard, because you don't want to be one of those that's homesick or possibly in the hospital. So that's really all we have for today, except for maybe a couple of questions from the media. And so, George, what questions do you have?
Is there any update for cosmetologists or restaurants?
So the update for the cosmetologist is, really is what we're doing here with Ignite Mobile, working with the city council. Hopefully you'll have a better understanding of where we are after tomorrow's city council meeting, and then it'll come up for a final vote the following Tuesday, which is May 12th. But you'll have a good indication tomorrow of where we stand. And for the restaurant owners, we continue to do those things that we think will help you increase your capacity. Once you start up, that you don't have to operate but for a certain amount of time at limited capacity. We do know that other mayors from many small towns are reaching out to the government, to the governor, about their close contact businesses as well as their restaurants. There's a lot of political pressure building right now, to reopen. And so you continue to hear that ramp up this week.
We're seeing some counties and communities that are refusing to enforce the governor's safer-at-home order. Do you have a reaction to that, and what is your approach in Mobile?
If I recall properly, I took an oath of this office that I would uphold the laws of the state of Alabama, and I believe that what the governor has done is legal, and so we intend to uphold those laws. We intend to do it in such a way that we don't want to make criminals out of otherwise law-abiding citizens, and so we've had a very soft approach to those who have chosen to open when they knew that they should not. We have gone and had conversations with them, and after those conversations, I think in every situation, those business owners have agreed, to stand down. And I think part of the reason is they know that every single day we are trying to use our influence, to make sure that you can get open as quickly as possible, and we will continue to do that. So thank you very much. Have a great evening.